Pranam Acharya ji. I am
Pranam.
Chitra. I am a software developer. I have two questions. First question is that sometimes we have thoughts which causes us pain. We can call it a painful thoughts. We understand this, but we are not able to overcome these thoughts. And as in the beginning, you have said that whatever thoughts the mind have, actually it sees some benefit in it. That's why it continue to exist. So I want to know what benefit the mind sees in painful thoughts. Also, is it a tactic of a ego to keep it alive, uh, keep itself alive through the pain, even through the painful thoughts? I mean, is it seeking a pleasure of being alive even in the pain?
Yes,
So this
obvious.
is my first question.
Yes, obviously. The thing with pain is you cannot have pain if you don't exist. So even pain ratifies your existence. The ego is such an insecure thing that to prove to itself that it exists, it can even put itself in pain. And it says, because I can experience pain, so I exist. Don't tell me that I am fake. Don't tell me I am a myth. Because you see, ultimately the ego is a myth. And therefore it's always scared. Somebody will call the bluff. Somebody will say, oh, you are such a fool. You don't even exist. So it keeps trying all kinds of tricks. That's the first thing. Next, you remember the pain that comes with thoughts. What you don't remember is something more important. Let's say you remember that you lost rupees 100 in the past, and that pains you. Whenever the memory flashes, you find there is the experience of pain. You lost rupees 100 in the past. Let's say right now you are in the thought process. You are repeatedly thinking about those 100 rupees you lost in the past and experiencing pain. At this moment, if I tell you that right now you are about to lose rupees 10,000, what will you do? Or what will happen to you rather?
I'll come out of that previous thought and take action for the
Exactly.
current situation.
Exactly. The past is of very little value compared to the present. Equally, the loss you might have suffered in the past is of very little value compared to the loss you are about to suffer right now and are in fact suffering every passing moment. And why exactly are you suffering the loss every passing moment? Because you are too busy and lost experiencing the pain of the past. You are so focused on the past losses that you have just no cognizance of what you are currently and continuously losing on. The loss right now is tremendous. You can express that loss in various ways. It's an opportunity loss. Much better could have been done. You wasted that time in self-pity and melancholy. You could call it a time loss. You could call it an energy loss. You could call it the loss of one's very life. So, I'm not saying that the loss in the past didn't happen or that it had no value at all. Obviously, we all suffer as we live our lives, and there are memories and trauma and suffering and so much, and there is no person who has not suffered and is not suffering. But the question is different. The question is it so that you have suffered in the past and the suffering has come to an end? No, the suffering is continuing, and by thinking of that loss, you are amplifying the suffering. Are you getting it? See, it's like this. You're driving your car on the highway. right? And you and you brush against a bike, right? Some paint from your bumper comes off, and it is indeed a loss, one doesn't deny. And now you are continuously thinking of it, continuously thinking of what the bike rider was doing, what you were doing, and who was at fault, and how it could have been avoided, and how much money you will need to spend to get the bumper painted again, and these things, and you are continuously in it. And what is approaching you from the front? A 16-wheeler truck. Now, what should I think of? The loss that has happened or the loss that is about to happen? And it's not as if the truck isn't honking, but you're lost. Right? So much is at stake right now. Better be cautious. Take care of it. You have an immense treasure. Somebody stole from it a little bit in the past, but still so much of it remains. So much of it, you could say the entirety of it remains. But you are at the risk of losing it if you don't wake up.
But Acharya, when I say pain, it's not always related to the past incidents or past pain, maybe current situations also. So, what about that?
If current situations have pain, ask yourself what makes you bear that pain. If you are bearing the pain to preserve your bondages, then you are on your own enemy. If you are bearing the pain to fight your bondages, then the pain is worth it. Pain is unavoidable. Pain is the very fact of life. The question is, what is it that you suffer the pain for? And believe me, there is nobody who doesn't have to suffer. I don't have to convince you. You know that very well, right? Look around yourself. What do you see? If you look honestly and deeply enough, you will see a lot of suffering. So suffering is. So suffer for the right cause. That's the best you can do. The solution to suffering is not a state of no suffering. The solution to suffering is right suffering. And to complete the story, I would say, if you suffer rightly, then slowly your tendency to suffer keeps reducing. And probably, potentially, one day you can come to a point where you don't suffer, but one need not think of it. Where you stand as things are, just think of choosing the right suffering. Most people suffer in a way that exacerbates the suffering. Most people are their own enemies. Challenge your suffering. Ask what it is doing to you. After each day of suffering, are you more prone to suffering or are you getting liberated? Is your suffering helping you or pushing you deeper into itself? Is it too abstract?
No, I'm getting it.
Choose the right suffering. I repeat, just take this home. Choose the right suffering.
So, Acharya ji, in one of your lecture, I had heard this sentence that "बुरा कर्म बुरे कर्ता से निकलता है." Like a bad action will come from a bad doer always. So, but I want to know the bad action. Is it in cycle that that action even impacts the doer again and again? Like it will make him more worst.
Yes, 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 true. So, bad choices reinforce your tendency to make bad choices. Equally, right choices strengthen your resolve to make right choices. That's why abhyas or practice is so important. The more you are accustomed to making wrong choices, the more difficult it would be for you to just suddenly make a right choice. The entire momentum of the past will militate against rightness. That's why it's important to not to be casual with even little choices. They begin in a casual way and very soon become a habit. The ego is nothing but a habit, you know. What else is life? A battle between clarity and habit. On one hand, there is clarity regarding what you must do. On the other hand, there is the physical and social habit telling you to do something else. And these are always in conflict. Unfortunately, mostly habit prevails. And if the force of habit is so powerful, you better be cautious of it. Do not allow yourself to be habituated towards the wrong things. Sri Krishna talks of two central tenets of spirituality in the Bhagavad Gita: Vairagya and Abhyas. Be dissociated, be detached to make the right choice, because you are attached to the wrong one. Therefore, detachment is needed to make the right choice. And then do it again and again. He says, be nirmam. Be hard-hearted towards yourself. Don't be in your own favor. Don't patronize yourself too much. Be nirmam. What does nirmam mean? Not identified with the self. And then keep practicing this thing, because it's a very old habit, you know, evolutionary habit.